Alrighty guys, so today we're going to be talking about the Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War beta. Specifically, we're going to be going over the changes from the alpha version of Black Ops Cold War to the beta version of Black Ops Cold War. There are certainly going to be a lot of changes. The alpha was not without its flaws, and hopefully here they'll be capitalizing on what was good and repairing what might have needed some work. But before we get into these confirmed changes and patch notes for the Black Ops Cold War beta, please be sure to drop a like on the video. It supports me like crazy. And subscribe if you're new. Thank you guys so much for your support each and every day. Your support has been absolutely phenomenal, and I really do appreciate it. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into these patch notes. Let's dig in to what we're going to be playing this weekend, and potentially a huge part of what we're going to be playing next weekend. Alright, so the first core gameplay change that we're going to see from the alpha to the beta is a large tuning pass on the core movement of the game. If you guys weren't aware, maybe you guys didn't get a chance to play the alpha, the movement was kind of a core thing that was upsetting a few people who were playing it. I felt personally a little bit of a lack of control. I felt that the sliding was a little too lenient, and it just didn't lead to a conducive experience for me. It wasn't one of my personal biggest gripes, but I'm glad to see they're going to be addressing it. They also slightly reduced the slide speed in the game. Now, to me, that's just going to make it feel more like a traditional boots on the ground Call of Duty. One of the more robust complaints during the Cold War Alpha is that the sliding actually felt like an EXO boost slide from Advanced Warfare, which to me, that just absolutely blows my mind. But I guess you do have to take into consideration the fact that when you're developing a game, especially the way Treyarch develops their game, you want to give the player a lot of agility, but you also don't want to make them supernatural, I guess. Overall, a slight reduction in slide speed is definitely good news for us, especially the people who want to feel like they have more control in the game. For better or for worse, that is going to be potentially one of the biggest game changers for the beta. I mean, personally, when I look back at a lot of the gameplay that I actually got during the alpha, there's a lot of sliding from one corridor to another. Going into the beta, you're probably going to expect that the sliding is going to be a lot more in line with modern warfare, which might not be a bad thing. And now moving on to weapons and gunsmith changes. Now these are very exciting to me. This is probably the highlight, the bread and butter of these patch notes. They go on to say they've redefined our weapons tech and animation since the alpha, completed numerous tuning and tweaking passes on our weapons, and added more details to attachment statistics in the gunsmith. Now I think that's the coolest thing about the gunsmith. The fact that they went from just saying what the attachments do, now we could actually see statistically what they're doing to our weapon. And on the topic of weapons, they have done a huge amount of changes to the sniper rifles in Black Ops Cold War. They go on to say that the sniper rifles are a key component of Black Ops combat, and in some ways more relevant than ever in Black Ops Cold War. I'm sure a lot of you guys felt that way from the alpha. With support for large maps and game modes, as well as cross-platform play, sniping can be an effective and often extremely powerful playstyle. To balance out cross-play sniping, we've brought back aim assist for snipers on controllers, something we haven't had in Black Ops multiplayer since Black Ops 2. Wow, that is an absolute doozy. Now, for better or for worse, I know a lot of people have competing opinions on this. That is an unprecedented change to Black Ops Cold War. Adding aim assist to snipers for controllers is certainly going to be a bold move, whether you are for or against it. It's a big one. Now, in terms of specific changes, they actually have an entire list of changes to weapons and gunsmith statistics. Now, for specific gunsmith changes, they first of all added a more detailed breakdown of statistics for each attachment, explaining in detail how each attachment influences its weapon stats. So let's say you're going to be throwing on a foregrip to your assault rifle. It'll not only say the percentage of horizontal recoil that it's going to be changing, it might also tell you a few more assets about why you should use it. Now, in terms of general weapon tuning, they made changes to a lot of the weapons that either overperformed or underperformed. I'm looking at you, AK-74U. They made changes specifically to the AK-74U. They increased the recoil and the ADS time, making it slightly more taxing for the amount of damage and accuracy it has, specifically for the fact that it's an SMG. Now, in terms of sniper rifle changes, I know a lot of people felt that the sniper rifles in the alpha were very overpowered. It turns out, upon further reflection, they actually buffed them for the alpha to get the correct data in order to get a more balanced version of them in the beta. So what's going to be coming to the beta is that they added aim assist on snipers for controller, of course. They also changed sniper glint, so now it displays more often and more reliably. Think Modern Warfare. They adjusted the ADS time on sniper rifles. And also, sniper rifles now require higher hits on the body for one-hit kills. So if you shoot somebody in the upper chest, you'll kill them, but maybe not in the stomach or the arm. Now, in terms of graphical changes, they actually are going to improve the performance of the game on PS4, thankfully, because a lot of people who have the old versions of the PS4s felt like they were getting a lot of frame drops. They also went in and adjusted the lighting on the map Miami. There was a lot of complaints that that was a little bit too dark to see people, so I'm glad to see that. It was a really good map aside from the lighting, so I'm wondering how it's going to play when it's more lit up. Now for the score streak system, objective score rewards have been increased in domination, kill confirmed, and hardpoint. These changes will reward any objective player and do not require or reward objective streaking. So what they set out to do in making this game was sort of be the anti-Black Ops 2 system, where you can't just keep hopping on the hardpoint, jumping off the hardpoint, hopping back on, jumping off in order to get your streaks. You actually had to put in some tangible objective work. Now that didn't really play out during the alpha. It felt like playing the objective was kind of worthless. So now they're trying to bridge the gap between the two systems. They also went in and adjusted the score streak rewards values to reduce the score streak spam and also make the score streaks more rewarding. So hopefully this alleviates everybody racing to call in their attack choppers by the end of every match. They also went ahead and doctored up a lot of the spawns throughout the assorted maps in the game, so that's good news. They also did some damage tuning to assorted vehicles in the game, specifically tanks. I know there were a robust amount of complaints about those. And in terms of bug fixes, they actually finally addressed the issue with the motion blur resetting every game. So now when you turn off your motion blur, it's actually going to be turned off. Now, in terms of new additional features to the game, they're going to be adding a ping system. It's similar to Warzone, where you can hit D-pad left on controllers or Z on keyboards. You could ping objective, loots, locations, and enemies. So that's going to be massive. I think that's going to be a good segue into Warzone. And another big one, they actually finally, after so many years, added an FOV, a field of view slider, on all platforms, not just PC. So now you can adjust the width and the height of what you're viewing in the game, give yourself an alternate angle on what's going on, and really see completely around you. And to end this video off, a very, very exciting sentiment that they added, the progression system in the beta. They're going to be introducing a deep progression system that while it's in beta, we're not going to be getting a huge preview of, but we're going to get a rough idea of the trajectory of where it's heading. So overall, a lot of exciting news for the Black Ops Cold War beta. The changes that we discussed here are merely highlights. There are tons of more changes coming from the alpha to the beta. I'm sure we're just going to have to experience them ourselves. Let me know in the comment section, guys. Let's have a conversation about it. What do you guys think about these changes that are coming to the beta? Do you guys approve of them? Do you guys think that they are long overdue and you're glad to see it? Let's talk about it. Thank you guys so much for the support on the channel. Thank you to everybody who's dropping likes and subscribing. And I'll see you guys on the Black Ops Cold War beta. Peace out.